I was wearing my mother's leggings. I got escorted out by about 6 stewards, took me to a police van, and I got interviewed by 2 coppers from Coventry under suspicion of criminal damage. Hello and welcome back to West Brom Fan TV. Now, as you know, I go to a bloody lot of away days. There's been ups, there's been downs, but I'm going to take you through some of the downs and some of the worst away experiences I've ever had to go to. So let's get into it. First up, Barnsley Away. I hate Barnsley Away. This was quite some time ago, back in December of 2021. Before I started doing the YouTube, I was around 17 years old. I was a right little scrawny rat, I guess. And I thought that I was in Green Street, basically. I don't wear the club now, but I also acted like an idiot back then.
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
So we finished sixth form, me and the boys, all in good spirits, straight in the car. My mum came this one, so this is even worse. And we headed up to Barnsley with a big bottle of vodka. Now, that ended well. We polished up this bottle of vodka. There was about 3 of us, so, you know, I'm not going to make out like I'm the big hardcore drinker. And, yeah, I was a bit tipsy. We were at the ground, and I was just acting like an idiot, basically. You know, the netting between the home and the away fans? Well, I decided it'd be a good idea to start poking my head through that, because there was a hole in it. So I got told off by the stewards for that. Basically, we went to the back of the stand because there was no one there. It was freezing cold. It was back when COVID was around as well. You needed COVID passports to get in. So we went to the back of this stand, and Millwall had been to Barnsley the week before. So I find this empty, broken seat. And I think it's a good idea to start waving it around my head like an idiot, singing "We've Got a Seat." Now, all was going well. The game was dire. We were at the back of the stand. Hugo had missed like 3 sitters. We were singing Albion chants with a group of other lads. There was about 10, 20 of us. Weren't many there that night. Probably about 500 in total for the whole stand. It weren't many. It was lacklustre support from us. And yes, I give the seat to the steward. Think, you know, nothing of it. I didn't break the seat. Go downstairs, and yeah, as you can guess, I got escorted out by about 6 stewards. I did have a Scooby what I'd done. Didn't do anything realistically, was just acting like a bit of an idiot. They took me to a police van, and I got interviewed by 2 coppers from Coventry under suspicion of criminal damage of the stadium. So yeah, brilliant. Luckily, the coppers believed my story. I wasn't issued a ban or anything like that. They basically just said, oh, if anything comes of it, you'll receive a notice from the police in about 3 months' time. This was right before Christmas as well, so, you know, great way to ruin your Christmas, thinking I might not be going to Albion again. But yeah, my mum absolutely rollicked me because I was half drunk. I wouldn't say gobbing off to a copper. I wasn't swearing at them. I was swearing about the thing. I was saying I haven't done in anything. And yeah, it made me look even more like an idiot in front of me mum. Got a very stern telling off from her. And yeah, not the best day at all. You haven't seen my mum. She can be ferocious. So yeah. Next up, my first derby game away at the Blues. Now, it's not really a derby, this game. But yeah, it was, let's put it this way, a terrible experience because of 2 things that happened. Well, obviously the game as well. So first, let's start about the game. We lost 1-0 because of a Lyle Taylor penalty. Andy Carroll missed a sitter late on as well. It was abysmal, really. It was Steve Bruce error, so obviously you know what it's going to be like. Pretty toxic and like, oh, what are we doing here? That type of feeling. But this is vile. What happened? Someone spat at me. A Blues fan from the upper tier. So, you know, first visit. Thanks for that.
Thanks for this. We're my holiday.
Hang on a moment.
And on the way out, someone tried to stab a cigarette out on my mate's coat. So, yeah. I think that's enough really to be said about Blues Away. Plus, I had a raging hangover because it was a mate's 18th birthday party the day before. Yeah, just one of them stinky away days. And I hate going to St Andrews. It's such a vile stadium. I'm not just saying that because, you know, we're we're supposed to have a bit of hatred for them and all this. It is just a vile stadium to visit. I know it's in Brum, which is class because you can, you know, have a few beers in Birmingham New Street, but apart from that, when you get there, it's just horrible. And they always beat us and they always give it portions. I hate it. Right, a more funnier one. Middlesbrough Away last season. Now, starting with the game, it was by far our worst performance of the season. We got annihilated. We were lucky it was only 1-0. We didn't have any real chances. That isn't the worst part, surprisingly. A trend with Nuneaton Town Football Club, my local, is on the final away day before Christmas, you go dressed in fancy dress. Don't matter what it is, don't matter if it's Ali G or you go as Father Christmas, you dress up. And I thought, you never know, a few Albion fans might do the same thing. So I decided to go dressed as an elf, which was the same costume as all the Nuneaton Town lads went in. Basically thinking, when I get home, I can join them for a drink in the town and, you know, I'll match. There'll be a few matches at the Albion game. So I'll fit in fine. What ended up happening, it was just me on my own, stood dressed as an elf. The video's on the channel, not much is mentioned of it. You can see that I do lose my head with the costume at one point, and this is where it gets worse, because I didn't think I'd be taking the costume off. But the game was that bad that I decided to take the costume off and throw it on the ground. And I was wearing my mother's leggings. So, as you can guess, my good friend Glenn, I don't think he's been on a video yet. He might have been. He's a good lad. Love a beer with him. He's from Nuneaton as well. Obviously, can't get better than that. He decided to yell at his top of his voice right behind me, "He's in his mum's leggings!" And I'm stood there like, you know, a few people recognise me, obviously, from the channel. Plus, I'm in that. So, yeah, I was a laughing stock for the rest of the game as well. So, cheers, Glenn. And now we get on to one of the final ones of the video. Stoke Away in the Carabao Cup last season. Now, someone put a TikTok out about this because I commented on Twitter. Someone put, "What's your worst ever away day?" This is my worst ever away day. This was awful. This was such a bad day. So obviously, no, we don't like going to Stoke anyways. I got the train for once, not realising it was a 2 to 3 mile walk to the ground. So I did some long walk on my own. I weren't drinking that day, so there wasn't like the camaraderie. There was no fans on the train with me either. So saying that, I would have been drinking on my own. But, you know, it adds to, I guess, the journey. It makes it a little bit more bearable to have a little enjoyable swig. But no, I was being completely good as gold that day. So I went to a Harvester. Had probably the worst burger I've ever had at a footy game. It was awful. Got sauce on my clothes, I'm pretty sure. So it's a good start. Went to the game. Met a few of my pals. Seems to be going, okay-ish. And, yeah, we were 1-0 down early on. Shock. We got an equaliser. We thought, we're going to potentially win this. Great to get one over the Clayheads. No, they score straight after 2-1. So I am miserable. Very, very miserable. Get in the car. Luckily, I've got a lift back. I've not got to walk another 2-3 miles to get to the station. So that's a positive. But, yeah, on the way back, my girlfriend at the time decided to split up with me. So that was brilliant, you know, just to add to it. Fantastic. I've lost my missus. Basically, at that point, I was like, you know what an awful day. What a terrible, terrible day out. And, yeah, I had a little whinge, to put it that way. So, yeah, that was terrible. The final one of the video, I didn't manage to get a programme for this game, but it was Southampton in the playoff semis last season. Now, this was awful. This was so bad of an away day. It was just terrible. So the train journey started. We met some lads, Southampton fans. They were sound as a pound. They're coming from Oxford, obviously on the same train as me, because I was going from Coventry and Oxford wanted to stop. So meet some great lads. It's going well from there. We're in good spirits, having a few drinky poos. Back when I used to drink Strongbow dart fruits when I hadn't grown a pair of testicles, but now I have, obviously. But yeah, we got to Southampton and there was an allocated bar for West Brom fans. So we go into this bar, think it's all going to be cool. ID, yeah, giving me ID because I am 20. I know a lot of people might say, oh, you don't look 20. But yeah, I am 20. I was with my mate, he's 21. And yeah, we had our IDs basically taken off us. They was searching them and all this. I got mine back. My mate didn't. and I decided to just say, basically, it's a effing shambles to the barman. Nothing to him, just saying that's an effing shambles, because it was. Walked off with my drink, chatting to some Albion fans. That's all I said. And yeah, I got escorted out basically by some bouncers. Lost my drink, so great start. And yeah, I ended up sitting in the park with my mate. We had a few drinks again. He called up the police. They said basically that the bar weren't allowed to do it, and he could get his ID back in the morning. So that was a complete load of rubbish. So that started off brilliantly. Then we obviously went to the stadium, which was one of the worst games I've ever seen, to be honest, in terms of how it felt. I was gutted, just so disappointed. And then, obviously, at the end of the game, where there was the mass pitch invasion, where I had bottles and stuff thrown at me. Well, everyone did in the Albion end, but you know what I mean? There were bottles and stuff thrown, and it was just chaos. There was just thousands of saints, well, not thousands, I'd say hundreds of idiots. The thousands of good ones who were just celebrating were on the other side, but we had hundreds of idiots in front of us trying to goad us. While this was all going on, I saw, basically two young kids just crying frightened, which was horrible to see. I've done a video on this in the past about this incident itself. It was just quite traumatic, really. And then while I was basically trying to diffuse stuff in a way, I'm not saying I was trying to act like Thogden in that Real Madrid game where he was saying, oh, it's only football. I was just basically trying to not get people arrested, because there was just a wall of coppers just ready to nick people from the looks of it, and they weren't doing nothing to stop the Southampton fans. They were just literally targeting Albion. But yeah, I had a steward come up to me and basically threatened to batter me outside the ground. So yeah, very professional for Southampton. Premier League club. And yeah, so the game was shocking. We went to a hotel. I had a few beers with Jason Wheeler and his Mrs. Claire. They're both absolutely lovely. And we bumped into Will Burford, and we wanted to get some drinks just to, round off the end of the season, drown the sorrows a bit, and then get some sleep. I had an early train at 5 in the morning or something stupid, because I just wanted to get out of there. And yeah, we walked 2 miles to basically find a place that would serve us. You weren't allowed in any of the bars because it was Southampton only. And we ended up walking 2 miles for what was literally like a little cat flap where some dude, it was like a corner shop with a cat flap. It was so weird. Bought us a load of drinks. We walked 2 miles back. By that point, we were that shattered. We didn't even have a drink. We all just went up straight to bed. It was dire. Shout out to Will Burford as well. He was with us. A bit naughty though. You were 17 at the time, Will. Shouldn't have been drinking. Bad boy. Anyways, I'm going to round it off there. If you want any more away day stories, I could probably think of more. But I don't want this video to drag out to 30 minutes long, because I could waffle for England. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Up the Albion. Cool new baggies. Let's have more good away days and less bloody miserable ones. Come on.